Most people chase goals, but goals don't really change your life. Identity does, because you can hit every milestone when it comes to your goal, yet still feel unfulfilled if you haven't changed who you are in the process. Because real transformation happens when you stop chasing the outcomes and start uncovering the identity hidden inside your goals. And this is the first step to shifting your identity, which changes everything. Hey there, friend. Thanks for hitting play on this video. And I hope by the end of this video, I can impart on you that every goal you set is really just pointing you to a future version of yourself that already exists. Your only job is to meet them, is to meet that version of yourselves. Because when you set a goal, you're not just identifying what you want, you're identifying who you're meant to become. It's like planting a seed. The goal itself is merely the seed. But you're not after the seed, you're after the plant, the tree, the flower it blossoms into. And that's the identity. That's what you're after. So instead of asking, how do I get this? The right question to ask, the more powerful question to ask, which is the beginning of all manifestation, is who do I need to become for this to feel natural? And once you do that, your next step reveals itself. The path unfolds for you. So in this video, let's walk through 3 simple steps to extract the identity behind your goal, which is the foundation for all identity shifting and manifestation. So the very first step is to simply translate your goal into an identity. So like I mentioned to start this video, you don't want the goal itself. You want the identity that goes with it. So your goal isn't to start a business, it's to become an entrepreneur. Your goal isn't to get fit, it's to be someone who honors their body. Your goal isn't to make money. Your goal is to become a person who creates value for others and generates abundance. Your goal isn't to find a beautiful love relationship, a loving partner. Your goal is for you yourself to become more loving, to become a more loving person. You see how that works? So every goal you have is just a mirror, reflecting back to you the version of you who already lives it. So for this first step, I want you to write down your goal and complete this sentence. Ready? To achieve this, I must become the kind of person who blank. What type of person do you need to become? Reflect on that. Who is the kind of person who already lives the reality you desire? Okay, now for step number 2. Because here's the thing about defining an identity. You have to get specific. You can't stop at just saying something like, well, I want to become someone who's more loving. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to become a writer. I want to become a world-class speaker. You have to get specific. You have to get granular and details. And that starts by defining the traits, the qualities, the energy, and the presence of that identity. Because a generic identity won't create transformation, but an embodied identity will. So ask yourself, how does this identity think? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? How do they walk? How do they respond to challenges? What is their default state of being throughout their life? How do they feel most of the time throughout their day? This is what you want to tap into. And these are not superficial details. These are the signals that will teach your subconscious mind what to replicate. So, for example, say your goal is to build confidence. Your new identity might be to be a charismatic leader, to be someone upbeat and lively, who is self-assured, who is rooted in who they are, who expresses their truth, who is comfortable in their own skin no matter the situation, who feels ease and joy. That's how you want to specify your identity. You just don't want to stop with the generic name. You want to get as detailed as possible, because the more specific image that you can define for that this is the person you want to become, the easier it will become for your subconscious mind to follow. Okay? So that's step number 2. Get specific with your identity. Traits, qualities, energy, and presence. Now for the third and final step. You need to name and claim your identity. And what I mean by that is that you want to give your identity language. Because when we give language to something, we give it form. We give form to the formless. And when you put words to something, you power up your intention. So I want you to do this by creating an identity statement. This will be like a personal identity mantra that will define who you are and that you will repeat every day to affirm that you are becoming this person. And there's a simple format you can use. It doesn't have to be a complicated statement. You could just start with a simple I am statement. I am blank. So I am the role, the identity of the person you want to become, who does X, Y, and Z. So in that X, Y, and Z, you would insert the qualities, the action, the impact this person makes in the world. So I'll give you an example. This is from one of my students in my identity shifting morning practice course. And she is someone who wants her goal was for her work to be featured in places and to her to do live shows and things like that. So her identity statement was, I am a loving artist who creates from my soul to help inspire and awaken others. You see how that goes there? She's not talking about being featured in publication. She's not talking about doing shows. She's declaring an identity statement with a role and clear impact and qualities that identity takes up. So this identity statement is crucial because it becomes your anchor. It's a declaration that helps you not only reprogram your subconscious mind little by little, but it also is a tool that helps bring you back to presence. Anytime you're facing resistance in life or have to do something that makes you really uncomfortable, that pushes you out of your comfort zone, your identity statement is what guides you back to the present moment. It guides you back to remembering the person you are stepping into. You use it in your real life when things get difficult. You repeat it. It anchors you back in and it squashes any resistance or discomfort you are feeling in the moment. So what I want you to do is to spend some time writing your own unique personal identity statement. And then speak it every day. Speak it daily. Speak it numerous times a day. Speak it right before you go to sleep at night. And speak it the second you wake up in the morning. This will help little by little wire in that new identity. This is how you can begin planting the seeds to living as your future self now. To quickly recap what we talked about, you want to, step one, take your goal and turn it into an identity. Step two, you want to take that identity and get specific with it, defining the qualities, the traits, the energy, the presence of that identity. And step three, you want to create a personal identity statement that declares who that person is and how they show up in the world. And with these three simple steps, you can stop obsessing over the goal and start becoming the person who naturally achieves it. That is the task of identity shifting. It's the very first step to shifting your identity. Because remember, goals are nice, but they're just surface level desires. They are the seeds. But identities are the deep structure beneath the goals. And the moment you start defining your identity, you can start aligning with it energetically, emotionally, mentally, behaviorally, on all levels. Because you can't shift your identity and manifest the life you desire without clarity of who you need to become, without clarity around the identity of the person you're stepping into. So what goal are you chasing right now in your life? What would it look like? What would it look and feel like to start embodying the version of you that already lives it now? This is your first step. Start with identity, forego the goal, and everything else will follow. And if you want to learn more about this, I have a link below this video to my free ultimate guide to identity shifting, which breaks down a 7-step identity shifting process that you can use to step into the person you know you're destined to become. And if you want to learn more about creating a personal identity statement and how to use it, it's something we go into much more detail in my 10-day identity shifting meditation course. I'll drop a link for that as well below. Thanks for watching today. Talk to you soon. Much love.